Hey there, hey there. Okay. According to the Associated Press, Democrats see Trump's big, beautiful bill as their comeback. Let's break down this big, beautiful bill. Okay. So, whether you are military, working class, middle class, maybe you're on Social Security, government assistance programs, SNAP, or whatever, this is for you. Let's break this down, guys. Right. So, here's how the big, beautiful bill affects us all. You probably heard of it, but you're probably struggling with to really trying to find out what it is. Sometimes we get it, sometimes we don't. Well, let's break it down. Trump's 2017 tax cuts are now made permanent. Massive massive Medicaid cuts. New work requirements just to qualify for Medicaid if you are an adult without disabilities. Again, if you are an adult without disabilities, you have to reapply every 6 months and prove your income and where you live. States will lose support over time, and rural hospitals may suffer. The strictest rules yet for low income families. Nearly 12 million people are projected to lose some type of form of health care. Now, cuts to food assistance, the SNAP program. States now have to pay part of the cost if they mess up too much. Work rules added for low income folks with no dependents. Work rule added. The truth is, those kind of been around a while. That's been kind of way before Trump. If anybody know about the state of Texas, it's kind of been like that for Texas for years. So if you don't have children, you've always been reported that you need to be looking for work. You know, as long as you're not exempt and all that kind of stuff, you need to be looking for work. So that's been around long, kind of well before Trump. I don't know how they tied that into Trump. Maybe he just enforcing it more. I don't know. But that's kind of been around in some states well before Trump. This kicks in by 2028. Okay. This could mean less food on the table for millions who already struggle. I don't necessarily means that it is going to be less food, as they say. It just means that you're going to have like different stipulations, right? So for those who are pregnant or who have children, of course you get the benefit from it more because it's actually for the children. And of course, if you have disabilities, nobody is going to, kick you off of that because you have to deal with your disabilities and you can't readily work like everyone else. But everyone else who can work, you will have some guidelines that you have to go by to make sure that you are participating in work programs and that you are actively looking for work. That's kind of been around a while. Huge military and border funding. 150 billion boost for the military, okay, according to some information or sources. A new missiles defense system called the Golden Dome. ICE gets an estimated 100 billion to crack down on immigration. Migrant detentions will double. ICE is now will be considered the largest enforcement agency in the country. No tax on tips and overtime. Trump, they said that Trump promised it and it is here. So he promised this and it is here. So tips and overtime income will be partially tax free, but it phases out if you earn over 150K. It expires after 2028. Okay. Child tax credit raised to 2,200 per child. Easier to qualify. Only one parent needs a Social Security number, according to this information. Clean energy cuts. Biden era tax credits for wind and solar are being phased out. Companies tied to China or foreign entities get cut off immediately. Credits shrink by year and vanish 2028. And according to sources, 3.3 trillion debt spike. The Congressional Budget Office says that the bill adds 3.3 trillion to debt in the next decade. Okay. Raises the debt ceiling by 5 trillion. Critics say we're handing the bill to future generations. Woo! Mm. So what do you think about that information so far, guys? Well, let me leave you a little bit with this. If you're on Medicaid or food stamps, this may hit home with you a little bit, depending on what your situation is. If you're a worker earning tips or overtime, you might catch a break for now. And if you're a wealthy investor or business owner, it may just be Christmas for you. So, according to how they broke it down, that's what you're looking at, okay? So, I wanted to look for some solutions for you guys, no matter what kind of is going on, right? Because there's no use to highlighting problems if we don't highlight solutions, or at least try to find some type of, I don't know, some type of solace to where we can just take some practical actions and do a little bit something to personally help ourselves, no matter what the situation is, right? So, number one, you want to stay informed. Stay informed with platforms such as myself and other platforms that you feel that inspire you and inform you. The two things you want is to be informed with factual information. It's okay if we give commentary, it's okay if we all give our ideas, but we also want to make sure that we're trying to give as factual information as possible so you guys can stay informed. The second thing is that you want to stay inspired. You want to stay motivated, right? Because no matter what's going on in our world, inspiration is what's going to keep us lifted up, right? Now, to track this bill and the impact that it has on you, taxes, benefits, health coverage, use tools such as benefits.gov to make sure you stay updated. Subscribe to trusted sources and local updates, okay? Also, raise your voice. Raise your voice. Raise your concerns locally. Locally, talk to your people, right? Talk to folks about what's going on. Write in, call in, talk in. Don't sit there and say, oh, God, I'll handle it. Baby, listen, you will be born in this earth and you will check out talking about God will handle it. God gave you ears, a mouth, nose, breath, life, your fingers, your toes, everything. You have to move so that God can move through you. Okay, guys? Okay? Okay, don't expect God to jump out the sky. We move, God move through us. You understand that? So, contact your local representatives and state leaders, call, write, attend town halls. If you disagree with parts of the bill, say so. Say so. If you support parts, say that too. There may be things you support. Remember, when people present bills, legislation, policies, there will be things you agree with. There will be some things you don't agree with. Don't let everybody get in your head. Oh, blah, 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 blah. Sometimes you got to push that aside. There may be things you agree with. There may be things you disagree with. Get your pen and pad out. Read, study, know it, listen, and go to good sources, AP, Associated Press, the main one of the main catalysts. But just break things down for yourself, because sometimes there's some good in some things, and then sometimes there's some not so good, right? Support organizations that align with your values. Okay. Now, vote strategically. you know Sometimes not voting is the best voting when you don't have the best candidates. And then when you do have the best candidates, sometimes standing up for looking at all of the situations, looking at how it weighs out, and looking at how it will help you, your family. Don't be selfish, other families too, right? Right. Adjust your financial plans. Big one, big one, big one. So, for workers, for you guys who work and you work jobs, track your pay stubs, right? For changes in taxes on tips, overtime, and Social Security, right? Maximize child tax credits if you are eligible. And for low income households, start preparing for new Medicaid SNAP rules. Keep your paperwork updated and verify your residency and income early, okay? So make sure you are already getting this stuff in place that they're saying, right? So you won't be struggling and you won't be stressed. Have your folder, have you a file. Everything's updated. So all you got to do when you need to report is right there. You're not struggling at the last minute. You understand what I'm saying? Because you don't know. Things happen, right? Have those things in advance. Seek legal aid or any type of community clinics to help you navigate any type of requirements. Also, reach out to your local communities. What is that? AARP and different communities that help you guys or sort out this information and to get you some mentors to help you out along the way, okay? For wealthier individuals and business owners, oh no, you're not exempt, boo. You're not exempt. Talk to tax advisors about deductions and SALT caps. That's SALT, SALT caps. Use your influence to support policy, community initiatives, and innovation responsibility, guys. We all play a part in this, right? So that's why I wanted to bring a little bit of solution for everybody, right? And yeah, yeah. And it may not seem like it's much, but trust me, any little action is better than no action at all, right? Let me share a few quotes with you so that way you guys can get a little bit of insight, more insight into this bill and how people are really thinking about this bill, right? So I'm going to share quotes from different perspectives. So this quote is from Trump. This is a win for every hardworking American who tips, serves, builds, and defends this country. President Trump at the White House signing the ceremony on July 4th. We're making sure seniors keep more of their checks and workers keep more of their pay. Trump during his remarks on tax and Social Security reforms. The White House's reaction. This is going to be the White House's reaction. It's the most transformative economic bill in a generation, restoring pride, prosperity, and fairness. Okay, I'm not sure about that, but hey, it may be restoring some things. I'm not sure about prosperity, though, right? Caroline Leavitt, White House press secretary. The president believes Americans should not be punished for working hard or growing old. Senior White House officials briefing reporters. Criticism from Democrats. This bill is not beautiful. It's brutal. Millions will lose health care coverage while billionaires get richer. Senator Elizabeth Warren, Massachusetts. Trump calls it big and beautiful. We call it betrayal of the American people. Representative Alexandria Cortez, New York, analysts and Republicans. These are people that's given their input also. It's a fiscal time bomb. The debt will explode. Maya McGreen's Committee for a Responsible Federal Budget. I support tax cuts, but not at the cost of stripping food and health care from rural families. Senator Lisa Murkowski, Arkansas, who voted against the bill. So there you have it. I don't have what everybody had to say. I just wanted to give different inputs for what different people have to say. It kind of give you insights into the different arguments, right? Yeah. So in my closing, this new law locks in permanent tax cuts and cuts taxes on tips and Social Security for many, but it also slashes Medicaid and food assistance. As strict, now when it says slashes, this is particularly talking about for those who are not disabled and who pretty much don't have children, right? It adds strict work rules and boosts military and immigration enforcement spending. Critics say it helps the wealthy and hurts the poor. With nearly 12 million at risk of losing health care, it adds over 3 trillion to the national debt. Trump calls it a win, opponents call it devastating. This is more than just policy, it is our lives and the future of our children's lives in the making. Whether we know it or not, or accept it or not, Policy, legislation, laws do affect us personally and professionally in our lives daily. As a matter of fact, every day as we wake up, we are living out laws, policies, regulations, politics every day, even when we're voting or when we're not voting. I will say this: smart Americans use knowledge to their advantage to take their own destinies into their own hands. TCLN Network is honored to be a part of breaking down these events that are happening in the America. TCLN aims to educate, to elevate, and provide some solutions that will take us from these situations to better spaces within our personal and professional lives. I also want to leave you with this in closing. As you know, there are about 15 states as of July 1st who will be raising minimum wage. So, again, there's going to be 15 states July 1st who are going to be raising minimum wage. Now, in order for you to find out what that minimum wage is going to be, you need to check with your local. Let me give you this information. You need to check with your local U.S. Department of Labor's state minimum wage laws, and you also can check with minimum wage changes effective July 1st, 2025, right? So I'll leave a link in the description so you guys can be able to click that link and go do a little bit of research yourselves. But I wanted to leave you a little bit of information with this, right? Because as you see, it said 15 states. It didn't say all states. So the goal is that I wanted to look up 3 practical actions that minimum wage workers can do to better their own personal situation. Maximize every dollar and tap into hidden resources and start investing into yourself. This is what I came up with. There is one book that I want to refer you to. I don't know if you ever heard of this person. Her name is called Tiffany Alishi. Now, she's got a book that's called Get Good with Money: 10 Simple Steps to Becoming Financially Whole, right? She's known as the Budgetnista. You guys have probably seen her out there, right? The reason why I'm referring this book to you, because I believe that this book is helpful to working class people, entrepreneurs, all types of people. But I've read this book and I've looked into this book, and let me tell you something. This book takes practical knowledge and it really breaks it down for you, and it makes it simple from A to Z. So I want to refer you to this book, right? And just in case you don't know about her, she's a financial educator and speaker and best-selling author. She is known for her down-to-earth, practical advice, especially for women and communities of color. Her book emphasizes financial wholeness, not just wealth, covering budgeting, saving, debt, insurance, investing, and more. So that's why I wanted to refer that to you, because she used to be a teacher, right? And so now you know her. She's a motivational speaker all over. She's been on news and all kind of stuff. But she was one of those teachers that she had to take what she had and make do. So she's not just coming telling you anything. She knows how to tell you how to take what you have, make do, and to maximize it, and to find opportunities to maximize it. So again, I'm all about bringing that news, but I'm all about bringing those solutions too. And that is one book that I definitely would love to refer to you guys. It is a solutionist book, right? And I'll put that information in the description also, so you guys can have that information, right? And I just want you to know that with all of the laws and policies and changes that are going on, you are not a victim. You are bold, you're strong, you are courageous, even if you don't feel like it. There are times we don't feel like it. There are times things are happening and shifting so fast, it just seems like we can't keep up. It seems like as soon as you get this down pack, it's something else. As soon as you get this down pack, it's something else. Can I just leave my personal advice today? I would say focus in and zone in on what's important to you. If family is what's important to you, focus in on that. If career is what's important to you, focus in on that. If having a deeper relationship with yourself and your higher power is important to you, focus in on that. Focus in on what's important to you. and find those special inspirational things that bring out the best in you concerning what's important to you. Because no matter what, the next 4 years, you're going to have policy, you're going to have law, you're going to have changes. The next 4 years after that, it's going to be the same thing. The next 4 years after that, it's going to be the same thing. We can't look to saviors. We have to look to our higher source and to ourselves. And we have to look within to those things that bring out the best in us. Because no matter what, things are constantly going to be changing. And you can't get in this state of mind where you just feel like, I'm just going to lose it. I just can't keep up. You can't keep up because you're trying to keep up with everything. You can't keep up with everything. You just have to keep up with those things that are strictly important to you, and then garner that into your community. If family is what's important, get involved with other families. If careers is what's important, get involved with other careers. If vouching for abused children is what's important, get involved in that. But not only are you making a difference in your life, you're going to be making a difference in other people's lives. And then that way, you're not so bogged down with the care of the world, but you're doing your part. Do you understand that? You're doing your part. Be blessed. This is IBK with TCLN Network, where I love to take events that are in our news, educate us, bring us the information, but also give us a little bit of insight and inspiration, okay? You guys have a wonderful, wonderful week. I hope you've enjoyed your fourth, and I hope you remember this one thing: do what makes you happy, just as long as it's not harming someone else's life. You guys have a beautiful day, okay? Oh, and it's not doing all kind of crazy stuff either, y'all. Bye-bye. You made it to the end. Blessings, blessings, blessings. I am so glad that you stayed to the end. Also, I hope with all of my heart that you were able to be inspired and you were informed, that you found something out of today's broadcast that resonated with you and that you can take within your life and within your journey. With that being said, do not forget to support at my GoFundMe. Also, check out my bookstore at Preeminent Good Books Publishing. In-demand leadership is a concept that I came up with because, after all, I don't care where you are in this world, what you do. The aim is to make sure we're getting better, brighter, and bolder. We do that through lifting one another out of systemic, social, and spiritual issues that affect us daily. Thank you so much. And as my favorite childhood reporter would say, courage, my friends, courage. Until next time, bye, you guys.